Let's bring on our amazing guest tonight. I feel absolutely humbled and privileged to have Ela KHAGRAM with us tonight. I've met Ela through a book project that Book Brilliance Publishing is working on, and she is one of the most amazing, beautiful souls in this world. And when the book comes out, and I've told her to plug it, so she'll plug it at the end. And when the book comes out in the summer, you all have to get that book, plus read Ela's story. You will be blown away, and that's all I'm going to say. But let me tell you a wee bit about who is Ela. Well, she's a certified master teacher, and excuse me if I don't get the pronunciation right, but she's a Guan lineage holder, a Teo song practitioner, a Teo calligraphy master practitioner, absolutely mind-blowing, Teo hands practitioner, and a love, peace, harmony ambassador. She is an amazing spirit, an amazing human, and an amazing speaker, and everything else. So we're very privileged to have someone so qualified, esteemed, whatever, in our presence tonight. So Ela, that's all I'm going to say about you, because I want to hear your voice. So over to you, Ela, and share us all your wisdom and all your joy and all your love about letting go.
Thank you so much, Brenda. You make me so shy with all that. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. And it's been lovely to be in the breakout room, with the ladies I was in there with. So, let me share a little bit about myself so you have a little bit of background. For myself, I have been on a very long journey. I've been on a journey to discover myself. Actually, if I'm honest, I've been on a journey for enlightenment. That's what I've wanted since I was a young child. I didn't want anything else. For me, I had very open spiritual channels. I'm Hindu background, but Jesus was with me all the time. And, there was a time when I was in school, I was like 5, 6 years old. Jesus used to walk with me in the playground and everywhere. And then one day I drew a picture. And the teacher said, who's this? And I said, it's Jesus. And she says, how do you know he looks like that? I thought that was your daddy. I said, no, that's Jesus. She says, how do you know he looks like that? I said, because he's standing right there next to you. And that took me into a whole lot of issues and, having parents called in and all sorts of things. And I'm sharing this with you because many of us have had spiritual channels that have opened. And it's very important for us to open this because it's our communication with higher realms, with divine, with the source, God, whoever we connect with. And it's a very important aspect of letting go. So I share that. And as also I share, a little bit about my turbulent life I've had. I've been in a very abusive marriage, my first marriage. I had my young child taken away from me. I went through, abuse and rape. I went through everything. So I came out of all this not knowing who I was. I didn't know who I was anymore. I lost all sense of who I am. Somebody asked me, what do you do? I couldn't answer because I didn't know. I lost the sense of who I was. And it wasn't until, a very beautiful soul, many of you may know him, called E Gerber. He's the author of the E-Myth books. So he adopted me as a daughter, and I have had a long, long relationship with him for, as far as I can remember. And he really has been my mentor, my guide, my adoptive father. He asked me, he said, who is Ela? I couldn't answer. I really couldn't answer. And actually, that's part of the story I wrote because that was what shook me. It shook me to my core. And then I went on a journey to discover who I was. And I believe we're all on a journey to discover who we are. We don't know who we are. That's why we suffer. And we suffer because we don't know how to let go. I always say the spiritual journey, the physical journey go hand in hand. You cannot have one without another. Many people think, oh, I'm not ready for a spiritual journey, but whether you think you are or you're not, everyone's on a spiritual journey. Your soul lives within you. Your soul has its task. If it didn't have a task, every one of us would look the same. Every one of us would have the same personality, the same characters, wouldn't we? So therefore, think about that. It means that you are special, that you are important, and you have a voice that needs to be shown and spoken, and you need to be able to be your true self. And that takes some undoing. So, you know, in the physical personal development world is about what you can gain, right? In the spiritual journey, it's about what you can let go of. It's about letting go of everything, losing everything to rediscover who you are. And that's the journey that I went on. And you know, when I had my first deep moment of enlightenment, everything changed for me in my life. I saw things differently. And I wish to share this with you so that you can really understand whatever you are in at the moment, whatever you are, it's a pathway. It's a pathway for you to discover who you are. So, you know, at times in our life, we have to face our trauma. We have to face what it is we're running away from. And so when I spoke about, you know, letting go, when the breakout room was, I was very grateful to be in there. We look at what we can let go, but what about what you're holding on to? So letting go has two arms, right? One is what you can let go of. One is what are you holding on to? So for many of us, we go through life, we go through trauma, and we have things that have happened to us through parents, to children, through partners, through ex-partners, through work colleagues and stuff. So how many of you here can really say that you don't hold on to anything that's happened to you in that experience? Or a memory pops up and it brings up all that yucky stuff, right? We can never be free until we let go. And let go means truly letting go. So, you know, one of the things that we teach in the soul healing side of things is to heal your soul. Because your soul is the boss. Your soul is trying to help you. Your soul is trying to nourish you. Your soul is trying to help you step into your true being, who you are. And we just haven't acknowledged it. In fact, I would say most of humanity haven't even said hello to your soul. Ask yourself this question right now. Have you ever acknowledged your soul? Have you ever said, okay, I'm in this physical body, but there's a soul inside of me. Have I ever said hello to my soul? And this has been my passion for a very long time, to help people reconnect with their soul. So we do some very deep processes where you can really connect with your soul, and then your soul can guide you moving through whatever it is. And so, you know, for women, it's a healing process. But do you think it's any less of a healing process for men? You know, sometimes men have it too hard as well. And I remember, you know, once one of the spiritual teachers of mine said to me, Ela, you need to work with women. And then I delved on that and I said, do I need to work with women, or do I need to work with the feminine? And so, you know, through this process, I became a lineage of Guan. So Guan is the Buddha of compassion. You know, the Buddhas and the saints and Jesus and all these, they don't belong to a culture or a sect or a religion. They're just divine beings. In fact, the name Buddha, it means enlightened one. And, you know, this is the key inference of this. When we, you know, in the physical journey, it is about, okay, what can I gain? Gain a house. I can gain a car. I can gain, you know, clothes, new jewelry, and there's nothing wrong with that. Allow it. You know, we're experiencing this human life. But the soul is like, okay, what can I disregard? What can I discard from you? What can I let go from you? What can I renounce? You know, renunciation is like letting go. And that's the spirit of the soul. The spirit of the soul is how it can bring you light body. how can you get a light body if you carry all this luggage, if you carry all this weight? It's difficult, right? You carry some trauma from childhood. You carry trauma that somebody said to you, or you carry some things that happened to you as a child through your parents. Everyone did the best that they could with whatever they had. Have you ever thought about what you're holding on to there? And that is what stops us from being our true self. So forgiveness, forgiveness can be very joyfully spoken about without really being understood. If we really truly go into deep forgiveness, you won't feel any charge around whatever you do. So whenever you feel a charge come up, somebody says something to you, someone expresses something to you, that's the time. If you get charged or you get affected, it's your stuff, because it's all an inside job. If you're affected, irrespective of what someone says, whether it was kind or not kind, if you are affected, it's your stuff. And if we take that responsibility, then actually we can go through this journey called life very easily. For me, I truly forgave all the people who did whatever they did to me. For each of them has taken me to this path right now. It's not easy being a spiritual teacher, I can tell you. It looks glamorous. It looks like, wow, this is an attained something. And it doesn't get attained by just going to do a course. You have to live it through. And I've lived it through. And I share my voice with everybody because my whole energy, my whole soul's purpose is to show people love. Love for who? Love for everyone around you. Love for yourself. And a lot of the times, we're not able to love others fully because we can't love ourselves fully. We can't love ourselves fully because we don't know who we are. And, we need to reprogram our whole existence and bring in the concept of love. And I really loved what the gentleman said about humility. Humility is a key part of our progress, our success in every aspect of our life. When somebody's coming from ego, can you not feel it? You can feel it, right? However, when you can feel it, it also resides in you, otherwise you wouldn't feel it. And so humility, there's a deep saying that I often teach. Soft and meek do not fight. So ask yourself in that moment, soft and meek, does it mean that you're weak? No. You think of a rock. You think of a rock, and you think of a drop of water dropping on that rock every day, a drop at a time. It's dropping, drip, drip, drip on this rock. Sorry, my mom always seems to call me when I'm doing some talk. I love my mom. She always calls me when I'm doing some lives. So it drops, right? Eventually, there will be a crack in that stone. So the more humble that you become, I teach people about the 10 qualities. The 10 qualities are love, forgiveness, compassion, light, humility, harmony, flourishing, gratitude, service, and enlightenment. And these are the innate qualities of each one of us. We all have, a Buddha nature, I call it. We all have a Buddha nature, an enlightened nature. We all have the wisdom. And so wisdom can come in two ways. Wisdom can come from the teachings, someone talking, like I'm talking right now. Perhaps you get an aha moment. Perhaps you get a deep insight. But wisdom also comes from you. So your soul will give you the wisdom. Your soul will give you the guidance. Your soul will allow you to transform. And it starts with love. If we cannot love, we cannot let it go, because we cannot forgive. If we cannot love, we cannot find peace. If we cannot love, we cannot bring harmony. If we cannot love, how can you bring flourishing to your life? And so this concept is very, very deep, but very, very beautiful to do when you let go. You know, I recently ran a program, a month program, and I married spirituality with the physical life because, you know, it takes time. It takes time, and we have to be in the space of compassion to help everybody grow where they need to grow. One of the things I said to them, I said that let's go into a process of renunciation, and it was like, oh, I'm not ready to let go of my physical life or my. And I said that, see, this is a preconceived idea, right, of what renunciation means. How many of you clutter in the house? How many of you store things for a rainy day? Oh, perhaps one day I will use that. Perhaps one day I will read this book. Those are the things we can start off with. Let go of all that doesn't serve you so it can serve somebody else. So I say to people oftentimes, you know, when we keep things in our house, we're not allowing that object, inanimate or animate, whatever it is, to serve. And service is key. Everyone's on this call because your heart wants to serve, to make something better in the world. To have a space where we can really be in love, peace, and harmony. Because that's what we're all looking for at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether it looks like success, £1 million, a big house, a car. What we're really looking for is love, peace, and harmony. Are we not? Okay, if I just do this one more thing, I'll feel peace. If I do this one more thing, I'll feel the quality of love. But actually, all those things come to you very naturally when you let go of those things that do not serve you. So take this time. Perhaps I can do a process with everybody. Would you like that? We go into a forgiveness practice together to show you a deeper way to go into forgiveness, a deeper way to let it go, and a deeper way for you to shine your true self. So perhaps we do this now. Think of one thing that makes you feel sad or makes you feel a little bit more anxious or doesn't allow you to step into your true light. You know, in the group I was with, you know, we had discussions around perfectionism. But what is perfectionism? You know, perfectionism in whose eyes? And so I want you to take this time to really step into your light, into your love, and to let everything go. Let go. That's it. It's so easy. Humanity suffers because we choose to suffer. You know why we choose to suffer? Because we choose to not let it go. That's why today's topic, you know, I was excited about it. Brenda, I know, was. Think about this and really, really, really acknowledge it, you know. If we don't choose to let go, we choose to suffer. It's always a choice. And what you choose will depend on what happens to you. Could I have chosen to be bitter? Could I have chosen to really hold a grudge? I haven't seen my son for 24 years. Could I have chosen to be a bitter person, you know, haggard in every way? I could have. But I made the choices. Is it easy? I will say to you right now, no. Is it doable? Yes. And you know why it's doable? Because we have so much unseen presence around us that are helping us all the way. My spiritual channels are very open so I can see. For many of us, we still yet to open our channels, to open our connection with our third eye. You know, who doesn't want to see images, right? We all want to see images. We all want to have a connection. And Guan gave me a lot of these teachings. You know, she said to me, forgiveness and love are the yin and yang. You cannot be fully in the place of love without forgiveness. You cannot forgive without love. So letting go is actually allowing you a space to be love, to be a symbol of love. Then forgiveness comes very easy. So I want to leave you with this thought. Perhaps if I may offer you all a little blessing, if that's okay, Brenda. So close your eyes. I will do this through my soul song. Close your eyes. This is soul song to open everybody's heart to let go. How, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for the honor and the opportunity to be here with you all. Thank you, Brenda. And, you know, here's to each of you being able to share your voice, your soul, and your soul song. Okay? Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you so much, Ela. That was absolutely beautiful, beautiful.